Good morning. After 5 falls, the indices will look at recouping some of its losses today. At least the start promises to be fine given the way global markets have behaved. But the geopolitical situation remains a cause of worry and could trigger a sell-off at any time. For the start, the indices are expected to open in the green and make some gains as the day progresses. The Dow Jones rose by around 0.5%, ending at a record high of 14,673. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq too clocked similar gains. Japan's Nikkei is up almost 1%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index has gained 0.5%. South Korea's Kospi Index is higher, while China's Shanghai Composite Index is marginally positive. The Federal Open Market Committee releases its minutes of March 19th to 20th meeting today. Earlier, Federal Chief Ben S. Bernanke has said that the economic conditions in US are far from where he would like them to be. Oil and gold prices rose nearly 1% in the international market. China's slowdown continues to remain a concern. Shipments abroad China rose 10% year-on-year as against 21.8% growth in February. Imports rose by 14.1% in March, taking the trade deficit to $880 million. Meanwhile, North Korea has raised threats of conflicts against the US and South Korea and has warned foreigners to evacuate South Korea to avoid being dragged into the thermonuclear war. The International Monetary says the inflation pressures are in check, giving green light to central banks around the world to take whatever action they feel are needed to spur economic growth. John Simon, IMF senior economist, at a press briefing on Tuesday discussing the moves of the central banks said, "When you balance the risk, we think the fear of the high inflation in near future shouldn't prevent monetary policy from being stimulative now." Tata Consultancy Services will acquire France-based IT service company LTSI for €75 million. Asian Development Bank has lowered its growth projection for India for 2013-2014 to 6% from 6.5%. Auto stocks may be in focus after SIM expressed fear that a proposed free trade agreement between the European Union and India could end up benefiting European car makers. The Finance Ministry is considering early redemption of some of the debt due September after extra savings last year bolstered the state's cash pile, says a report. A stable long-term policy regime and recognizing bank loans to non-banking financial companies as priority sector lendings were some of the key demands that NBFCs placed before the Reserve Bank of India on Tuesday, a report stated. SEBI has unearthed phony investment syndicate in national capital wherein a large number of people could have been defrauded in the name of investments made by their deceased family members, according to a report. Larsen & Toubro's chairman ruled out any immediate stake sale in Dharma Port Company and said the ownership is right now under status quo. BEL and NTPC are in talks to form a joint venture to put up a 100 megawatts power project based on new technology. ONGC signed a memorandum of understanding with Chambal Fertilizers and Chemicals for setting up fertilizer unit in Unakati district. Trends in the FII flow. The FIIs were net sellers of Rs 6.64 billion in the cash segment on Tuesday, while domestic institutional investors were net buyers of Rs 9.87 billion as per the figures released by NSE. The foreign funds were net sellers of Rs 17.02 billion in the cash segment on Monday, according to the figures released by SEBI. Our recommendations, the technical calls for the day. We recommend buying REC above Rs 217 for a target price of 228 with stop loss placed at Rs 212. The derivative strategies for the day. Long cane April futures above Rs 290 for the target price of 300 with stop loss placed at Rs 286. Thank you. Wish you have a good day ahead.